almost every time in the midst of summer, watching it in full bloom always makes me wonder when we were.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another week in my life, balancing life and work and school and all that fun stuff. May has just been one of those months that's been super busy, like anticipating busyness, if that makes sense. Like I have like a presentation next week, I have a bunch of final assignments coming up and exams, and then I also have like my translation work that is continuing through the summer, which, by the way, I should have some really exciting news kind of coming your way soon related to that. Just keep your eyes peeled. Obviously I'll tell you on here as soon as I can, and then also on my Instagram. Yeah, big sort of translator moves happening, which is so exciting, but I just feel a little overwhelmed by like everything that is going to happen, and trying to like prep for that ahead of time, if that makes sense. So the weeks are just flying by at this point. I don't really know what happened. Like I kind of blinked and it was summer, which I think might be like global warming related as well, but it's just like it feels like the season has completely gone so fast. The good thing is I'm still trying to enjoy it as much as I can. As you guys saw, I set up a little like table on our roof just to really enjoy that while the weather is good in the morning and sort of like the evenings, and also trying to see friends and kind of get outside when it's not too hot. But I recently just realized like to make time for everything and to also feel like I'm sort of in control of what's going on, because I think whether you're a student or you work for yourself, your workflow and sort of how you approach deadlines is entirely up to you. And because there's so many moving parts with like my different jobs and sort of school and stuff, I realized I just need a really sturdy sort of weekly routine with sort of time blocks that I can work on each individual sort of task and project. So YouTube time blocks, school work obviously, and then translation and writing, just kind of scheduling that out throughout my week. So it feels like in some ways I always know what I need to be doing. And it actually ended up being perfect timing because the idea of setting it up alone was really overwhelming. So I was able to turn to Skillshare, who are kindly the sponsors of today's video. Skillshare is the largest online learning community with a huge depth and breadth of creative topics for you to choose from, whether you're just looking to get started at developing a skill or you want to create a more regular practice. I was particularly interested in their productivity, writing and publishing, and creative career classes, but there are also visual art and personal growth classes and so much more. Like I mentioned, I've been really wanting to find a routine to make sure I can work on my various creative projects while also at school. So I've been taking Make Your Art Time Management for Creatives with Liz Brindley, which was actually so amazing. She goes through how to set boundaries, create work blocks, and she also ends with a class project where you actually design your own weekly workflow, which has truly been life-changing because I now feel like I have time for mostly everything and I know exactly when to sort of log off. I'd really recommend this class for any creative or student, and Skillshare also has a 7-day free trial and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you'd like to take this class or any of the other thousands on Skillshare, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive 20% off their first year of Skillshare. So get started today. So thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and thank you so much to you guys just for watching and even making this possible. I'm truly so excited to be working with them. The schedule has been actually so helpful. After sort of deciding that, I'm really trying to stick to it as much as possible with like little tweaks here and there. For today, the block is supposed to be writing, and I just did it because it's like a free day in terms of school, and I usually don't have too many commitments on Thursdays, and so I just really want to have like a little block I can devote to just being creative. Everything else, like my translation, YouTube, tutoring, like sort of schoolwork, it all revolves around deadlines and stuff, but writing is really the one thing that I am trying to do myself and like kind of keep, I guess, sort of sacred in that way. And I haven't, like been submitting like crazy or anything yet. And so, yeah, basically that's what I want to work on today. But I do have a lot of schoolwork piling up this week for my presentation, and so I think I'm going to work on that for a tiny bit now and then get to writing, and that'll be sort of like the work block for today. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just so nice to know what I'm doing, because I think as someone who largely works for herself, it's so hard sometimes to like figure out exactly what you need to do to make everything run, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I think of it as like a stove with multiple burners and like different pots, and you want all of them to be like warm at the same time, but you're also not like cooking all of them. So you move between, you know, pots and burners, but they're all being given attention, if that makes sense. And I think that's actually a lot easier said than done, and so I'm just trying to practice that. This time blocking system has already been so helpful, so yeah, that should be the plan for today. Let's get to work.
어디서부터 참을 수 있을까? 벌어진 틈새를 채울 순 있을까? I don't know what to do. We've already spent so much time. 우린 이미 너무 먼 길을 너에게로부터 가장 먼저 내 마음이 또다시 철없이 널 향하지 않게 far away. Sun cuts through the corner of my window, playing catch. I wonder, do they get tired? Good company purring on my lap, not a single worry to be had. Sunny side up, the only thing that's filling my brain. For now it's sunny side up. The reason that I get out of bed is to lay down again. Oh, I'll be with you in a sec. I just need a day off. Nothing in my plans. I just need a day off. I'll get back, I'll do my best, but better call somebody else. I simply got so much on my head. Nothing in my plans. I just need a day off.
Hi everyone, just came back from an absolutely delicious dinner, getting some Laotian food. As you guys probably saw, I actually saw my friend Pyori today in Mangwon, and we basically decided to get together to do some work in a cafe for a couple hours, but we're gonna try and make it a weekly routine. So do like every Monday afternoon in the area at a cafe, because she also wants to kind of get an excuse to leave the house and do some work, and I would also like that as well. Especially with seeing people and seeing friends, I think I've realized in the past couple of years that the most important thing is just seeing people regularly, at least for me. I think that, you know, even if you're just doing really small errands or like something that feels like you'd be doing it anyway, like studying or whatever, seeing the same people like every week, every couple of days, every month even, just that regularity helps so much, because it also gets rid of this sort of decision fatigue and like deciding when to meet, you know, scheduling them in, where to meet, you know, what you're gonna do, everything. I feel like just kind of lowering the bar, lowering the stakes on what is necessary to like hang with a friend has been super helpful for me, or like that's just kind of what I'm thinking about, I guess, which is why me and Pyori decided to sort of start this like Monday study sesh, and hopefully it'll just like keep growing to sort of other social routines as well. But so far it felt so good. We got a decent amount of work done using the Pomodoro method, and then we would just like be able to chat during our 5-minute break. So yeah, it was really great. Otherwise, since I'm pretty proud of the work I've done for today, I think I'm just gonna chill, maybe watch something, cut up some fruit, maybe make some tea, and yeah, hopefully hit the hay a little early.
The summer came for us and showed us what we lost. I'm writing to myself about the things you said, about the things you said.
그럼 못 찍지.
Towards my feet within the light the morning brings to clean the remnants of a dream. Shadows you cannot see, I brush aside. You're on my mind this week. The lows are deep. I fall into the refuge that is sleep. There's nothing in my view but images of you 1,000 times.